we're going to make a whole bunch of recipes today to put on your Chipcuterie board for Super Bowl Sunday using Hot Mama Salsa products. So we're gonna make some salsa mexicana chicken that we can make into tostadas. We're gonna put all the salsas and the chips out. We're gonna make some hummus with smoky coffee chili oil. We're gonna make some refried bean dip. We're gonna make cottage cheese and salsa, which is a thing I'm hearing. I saw it on TikTok. I've never tried it, so I kind of want to try it. We'll see how it is. This will be our test. And then we're gonna fill the board with chips and cabbage. Oh, we're gonna make some quick guacamole also. So the first thing that we're going to do is get our crock pot chicken going. So we're going to just use, you can do this in a Dutch oven, in your oven. You can do this in a crock pot, or you can do this in an Instapot. So you just put chicken breasts and the big thighs too, it really doesn't matter, in your cooker. I've got 2 boneless, skinless chicken breasts today. That's what we're going to use today. And you can just throw in salsa mexicana to cover the chicken. And then you cook it. That is it. So I cooked mine last night in a Dutch oven, and it took a half an hour. And then I took it out of the oven, let it cool for like 15 minutes, and then I shredded it. So that's it. You just pour salsa over chicken. It's the easiest thing, and it's delicious. Now, if you don't want it spicy, you can also do this with our salsa verde. It's also super delicious. Same thing. Just pour salsa over it. It's got all the veg and flavor. And then the rest of the salsa mexicana, I'm starting our board. So I love the King Harvest hummus. If I don't make my own, this is the one that I like to buy. And they have 2 flavors that I really like, the toasted sesame and the balsamic. And hummus with smoky coffee, if you've never had it, is insanely delicious. So I'm just going to put a container of hummus. I got the sesame this time because it goes well with the smoky coffee. And a good scoop of smoky coffee, depending how spicy you want it. And then you're just going to mix it up. And you can drizzle some more on top to make it look fancy before the guests come. But that is it. So we're going to fill all these little cups to put around our board and build our board that way. So all you need is avocado and grandma's chile to make guacamole. So when I make guacamole totally from scratch, I cut up tomatoes, I cut up onions, I cut up garlic, and I cut up cilantro, and that's what I put in with my avocado. And all that is already in grandma's chile, so you could just throw it in there and not have to chop. And it makes it very fast and easy. So cut your avocado in half and just scoop it out. And to get your pit out, knife twist. And then you can just run the pit on the rim of a bowl to get it off. Don't try and pull it off with your fingers. So I'm just going to do 3 avocados, but you know, the more guacamole you want, the more avocados you do. Make sure that they're ripe. So buy your avocados. Ooh, that's a tough one. Buy your avocados a few days ahead so that they can ripen. And then, oh, here's a really good trick. Once your avocados are at perfect ripeness, put them in the refrigerator because they will stay at that perfect ripeness for quite a while, like a week or 2 weeks. So you don't ever have to waste your avocados. Okay, so I got my avocado. Now I'm going to put some chile in here. And I'm putting like maybe 1, 2, 3 tablespoons for 3 avocados, and then we can adjust as needed. And then you can just mash with a fork and mix it all together. And then taste it, because you might want a little more salt than the salsa has. None of the salsas are super salty, so adding the avocado, you might need more salt. I didn't do that with the smoky coffee and hummus, just because I've made that so many times. I know it's got a good salt ratio. And the chicken will taste when it comes out to taste for salt too. Okay, so that's your easy guacamole. Let's see how it is if it needs salt. No, it actually does. So you're gonna put that in your little bowl, and you're definitely gonna want to make 2 of these bowls, because everyone loves guacamole. You know, it's the thing that goes first. Okay, what's next? Well, we have this grandma's chile here, so we're going to do a little jar of that. Now, shall we do our cottage cheese experiment? Okay, so I've seen this a couple ways. People putting cottage cheese, just mixing the salsa in, but I was also thinking it would be really good to blend it, and then it would be kind of like a cheese dip. So we're gonna put the cottage cheese in the Vitamix, and then which salsa shall we use? I mean, I think the traditional grandma's chile would probably be what people are normally using, but I don't think the salsa verde might be interesting. So that's what we're going to try. But you could really try with any salsa that you like. So I'm pouring in about, I would say, 1/3 salsa to 2/3 cottage cheese. Thinking of it like, am I using the cottage cheese kind of like a cream cheese? Okay, it needs more liquid. Let's put a little bit more salsa in there. Okay, let's taste it. It really is like creamy, sour cream, tangy dip with the salsa verde. So I'm putting a little bit more salsa in. I'm gonna let it blend more so that it gets smoother, and I also kind of want it to be a little spicier. So I'm gonna put some hot sauce in it. Tamarindo. But the green is really good because it's tangy. Okay, because we like to have a spicy, it's kind of like a spicy cheese dip, I think. Okay. Okay, let's try it again. Woo! Well, that's good. All right, so the last one we're going to do is our beans. And so to make it even easier, you don't have to make your own beans. You can get some refried beans. These are fresh made locally. Better Bean Company. And of course, we're going to spice them up a bit with some Papa Loco. I'm just going to put a little bit. Papa Loco is so good in beans because it's so loaded with Mexican oregano, which goes so well with beans. And then we're getting our Papa Loco salsa out. All right, so I'm just gonna heat these beans up in a skillet. Won't take long. We'll just incorporate all that salsa in there. All right, so since you're making a very special platter, you need to have a very special cheese. This right here is pretty much my favorite. No, it definitely is my favorite local cheese. Don Froyland's Queso Botanero. You have to search this out. Not everybody has it. I just saw Will Spence carrying it now because Jim Dixon loves this cheese too. You know what he does? Chips, salsa mexicana, and this cheese in slices. It's pretty good. But you also have to go to like certain Mexican tiendas in town, serve it, but it's the best cheese. So it's a soft cheese, so it melts really well. So we're gonna kind of, I should have maybe shredded it, but I'm just gonna kind of cut it into chunks, and we're gonna have it on the board so that people can add cheese to whatever. Now this board is gonna be like, you bring your plate to it and load up, and you can make tostadas out of this board. You can pretty much make your own nachos. You can just make your chips and cheese platter. But this cheese is super soft. It'll melt amazing. It'll be great in the beans. It'll be great with the chicken. You can also do slices of it if you want on the board, but it's pretty creamy. So it's almost like you would chunk up like a blue cheese. Oh, and you know what it's filled with? Jalapeno and cilantro. Goes perfect with all of the chipcuterie accoutrements. Okay, cheese for the board.
Cheese!
It's almost time to organize the board. It's going to be very fun. Okay. All right, so our beans are bubbling in the pot with the Papa Loco. So I'm going to give them a little taste. It's really good with that Papa Loco. It does need some salt. Beans often do. And then we're gonna put it in our little bowls here. Okay, let's just dice a touch of onion to put on the top of the beans. And if we feel like we have room on the chipcuterie board later, we might do some diced onion and cilantro. So now your chicken's done cooking in the crock pot, and you've shredded it all up. And you want to get a close-up over here of the chicken. So you've taken two forks and shredded the chicken up. And then put it back on the stove and let some of that salsa reduce more. Let's taste it. Oh, good. It's spicy, which we want spicy, but not too spicy. All right, and then we're gonna put our chicken out in a bowl because it's our main protein and what we're gonna make our tostadas with. Okay, let's build this chipcuterie board. So we've got all our dips, we've got our chicken. We're gonna put chips on here. We made some little tostaditos so we can make tostadas. I have cabbage and I have some radishes for beautiful color. And I have cabbage because sometimes you don't eat so many chips. Cabbage is so good to dip with salsa and especially with guacamole. So let's do it. All right, we're going to use 2 kinds of chips, of course, because we make 2 kinds of chips. I don't know if you know this, but we make a flavored lime chili chip. Only available at Market of Choice. It's called Local Heat Chips. We're going to use those for a little spice and tang. And then, of course, Hot Mama Salsa chips. Just like anything, any good nacho and a good chilaquiles, you have to have good chips for the base. It will make all the difference. Have you seen our new chip bags? They're very pretty. And they feel good. And watch this. Are you ready?